Hey everyone, it's Lena Nasserdeen, the CEO and founder of Rise Up For You. And today I'm hopping on impromptu because I've had some amazing conversations over the last couple weeks about how to pick the right coach. So I want you to think about this for a second. Have you ever had a coach before or are thinking about getting a coach, but they just didn't work out for you? Maybe you've spent thousands of dollars, but you didn't hit the goals, you didn't reach the outcome. And at the end of the day, the coach was kind of okay. Well, I hear this way too often, all too often. I hear it all the time. And so today I have actually jotted down a few things that are really important for when you are trying to find yourself a professional coach, whether that's a coach when it comes to executive coaching, leadership coaching, confidence coaching. There's some key elements that are going to help set you up for success before you make the investment. So let's talk about this. But before we jump in, again, my name is Lena Nasserdeen. I'm the CEO and founder of Rise Up For You. And my team and I get the greatest honor to work with executives, leaders around the world, enhancing performance, leadership, communication, and really the culture within the workplace and within the business. And so we are in the trenches every single day, not only working with our partners, but also having conversations with potential partners. And one of the questions that I always ask when we're potentially going to start working with a company or a leader is, have you had coaching and training before? And if the answer is yes, my next question is, why are you talking to us then? Has it worked? Did it not work? And then I want to know why. And so here are some of the things that I've been consistently hearing over the last couple weeks, honestly, that I think are really important to share. First off, I 100% believe that having a professional coach is a must. I have two coaches myself, one for business, one when it comes to nutrition. My team, even though we do coaching and training, we hire coaches externally to help support our growth because it's important to have a different perspective. And so, think about this: with the greatest performers, the greatest leaders, they have that coach, that personal board that are helping them get to the next level. But when you're making the investment in coaching, you're looking at anywhere between 1 to 2,000 on the lower end, maybe for a new coach, all the way up to like 10 to 15,000 for a really experienced high level coach. And so when you're making any kind of investment, obviously you want to make sure that you get results, that it works for you, that it moves the needle. Otherwise, your investment, unfortunately, wasn't worth it and it goes to waste. So here's the things that when you're looking for a coach, you want to look for, whether it's coaching with us here at Rise Up For You or finding another coaching agency. Number one, first and foremost, before you even start working with them, do they respond to your inquiry? So I recently just connected with a new client now, so they're going to be coming on board with Rise Up For You. And they mentioned, hey, we've reached out to a number of companies that do coaching and training, and we've been reaching out the last couple weeks, and you're the only one that responded. Okay, so my response to them was, well, then I think you have your answer. Because if you're trying to get a coach or you're trying to get a trainer and they're not responding to your inquiry, that right there is a red flag. Okay, because you're not even a client yet. You haven't even paid. And so you really want to make sure that when you get a coach, that they're going to respond to you, that they're on the ball from an admin perspective, and that again, you're building the connection even before you pay. And if you see that the communication is slow or rough or not as transparent as you want it to be, that's a red flag right there. I wouldn't even hop on the call. So number one, is the coach or training agency responsive? Number two, when looking for a coach, is you want to make sure that the coach is an active listener first and then talks second. And this is something that I work on with the Rise Up For You team all the time. As a coach, we should be talking very, very minimally. Our goal is to really get you to talk and to help you solve the problem and to help you get to the outcome that you want to get to by asking the right questions. So it's a coach's job to ask the right questions and to support you into getting to the right spot and the right outcome. It's not our job to give you advice. And if you see that your coach is talking the majority of the session, that's a red flag right there. You should be doing the majority of the talking. Think of it like having a gym coach, okay? When you have a coach at the gym, you're doing the exercises. You have to get down and do the push-ups. You have to do, the bicep press, whatever it is. You got to do all the work, and the coach is really just showing you the initial move, and then guiding your posture, but it's you that's showing up and putting in the effort. The same thing should be happening with professional coaching. You should be doing the majority of the talking, and the coach should be listening, and then based off of the listening, ask you the right questions intuitively to help you, again, reach the outcome or the goal. The only time a coach should provide, I would say, like a little bit of that carrot or some advice is if they recognize that you actually don't have the skill or the tool to answer the question or to get to where you need to go. In which case, the coach can then ask you, do you think A, B, C, or D would help? Do you think the strategy would be useful? And then they ask you a question strategically that helps you decide what you think is going to work best for you. And that's why having a book of tools and strategies is really important as a coach. As you can see, some of the books behind me, all of these books that we write here at Rise Up For You have a number of strategies to help the coaching process. Okay, step number 3 that's really important for you to look for, especially if you're a company that's hiring a coach for your team members or your employees, you want to make sure you have a coach that plays neutral. You never want to hire a coach that plays sides, meaning that they make the company look like the bad guy, or they make the leader or the team look like the person to blame. As a coach, it's our job to play neutral and to help the coachee, so that's the person that's getting the coaching, to help the coachee take accountability and ownership around what they can control, okay? Now, this is super important because we've actually had some clients come over to our company because of this problem, where maybe they hired another coach or they hired another training agency and they made the company look bad, right? And then the coachee quit their job, and then they said that the company was bad and they had toxic culture, and that narrative was produced in the coaching session. And we do not want that to happen. We need to avoid that. So as a coach, it's our responsibility to play neutral, and then empower the coachee to take ownership over what they can take ownership over, okay? What they can have control over, what they can solve. So number 3 is make sure that you find a coach that plays neutral, that's not pinning team members up against other team members or the leader up against the company and the culture. Okay, number 4, the thing to look for. You want to make sure that you hire a coach that's not cookie cutter. That's the beauty of coaching. That's why I love coaching so much, because coaching, it should be customizable towards the person that you're sitting across from. So whenever somebody says, well, what are you going to do in my session? Can you give me an agenda? I always say, well, we can give you like an outline, but we can't tell you exactly what's going to happen because it's really around you. It's the job, it's the coach of the job to be intuitive around some of the things that are happening in the session and then guide the roadmap accordingly. So make sure that you find a coach that's not giving you a cookie cutter template over the next 3 to 6 months or however long you're going to work with them. It's got to be customizable for you. So for example, here at Rise Up For You, before we start coaching, we do a couple things. The first thing is we do a coachee feedback form where we have you, as the person that's getting the coaching, fill out the form around yourself. What do you want to get out of coaching? What are the goals? When coaching is done, what would success look like for you? We ask all those questions ahead of time. And then we do a number of assessments ahead of time. We call them pre-assessments around self-confidence, emotional intelligence, leadership, influential communication. Now, the reason why we do that is because now we're able to look at the data before we start coaching that's specific to you to see, okay, what are some of the gaps and what do we need to work through? And then at the end of the coaching program, we do all of those assessments again to ensure that we actually had growth and that we moved the needle. So again, a step number 4, or thing number 4 to look out for is making sure that it's not cookie cutter and that your coach is actually creating the plan that's customizable towards you as the individual. Okay, number 5, this is actually my favorite one, I have to tell you. So I talk about this a lot. This is part of self-confidence, but this is so crucial. And I hear this probably more often than not with some of the other ones that I mentioned. Number 5 is a great coach is not a people pleaser. It's really important when you're hiring and paying and investing and coaching and training that the coach that is working with you or the trainer that's working with you does not have a people pleasing complex. Because if they do, their intent is not towards you. And it's not malicious, okay? Many individuals struggle with self-confidence and they struggle with people pleasing. They want you to like them. But the whole purpose of getting coaching and training is to push you past your comfort zone, is to encourage you to think differently, to critically think in ways that you didn't before. And that requires a coach that's going to push you a little bit, that's going to push you to be uncomfortable. And you cannot have a coach that's worried about what you think about them. Otherwise, they won't do that. They won't push you to that edge. And so it's really important that you have a coach that has high self-confidence, but also obviously is emotionally intelligent, but that wants you to succeed, meaning that your growth is more important than their need to be liked. Okay. And I will honestly say for myself, because I can only speak for myself as a coach, and of course the team that we built here at Rise Up For You, that is one of the things that I have realized has helped me be successful as a coach, which I actually hear from my clients, is that I am not afraid to push them and I don't care about being liked by them. My goal is to help them get results and to feel their best. That's my number one goal. Now, of course, I want to be liked. Everybody wants to be liked, but I'm not going to jeopardize the coaching process and the growth of the individual because of my feelings and because of my need to people please and for people to like me. Okay. And that is so, so important. The trainer has to be able to put the person first above their own emotions. And then number 6, the thing to look for, obviously, is just energy and trust. Do you connect with the coach? Do you feel like their energy and that you trust them and that they're going to look out for you and they're going to do whatever it takes to get you to the finish line and to get the results and reach the outcomes that they want to get? And sometimes that just takes intuition. You could sit across from somebody immediately and just say, I don't think they're for me. But I would say go through steps 1 through 5 first. So 1, are they responsive? 2, making sure that they listen more, talk less. 3, they never play sides, right? So they're not trying to pin you up against anybody. 4, it's not a cookie cutter program. 5, no people pleasing. And then 6, do you resonate with the person across from you? Do you connect with them? And do you believe that they are the right fit for you? So again, I'm Netta with Rise Up For You. I wanted to do this video on how to find the right coach. Of course, my team and I would be so honored to be your coaching partner. But whether you choose us or whether you choose somebody else, make sure that those 6 things are something that you're looking for. And if you currently have a coach with another company and you're not getting these things, now is the time to ask for them. Because the last thing you want to do is get to the end of your coaching program and then say, like, it didn't work for me. It was okay. I didn't get the results that I wanted. Because we don't want you to give up on your growth and we don't want you to give up on coaching. And we know here at Rise Up For You that coaching is one of the most transformational ways to grow and to become the leader, the business owner, and the change maker that you want to be. So if you feel like you're not getting what you need as the coachee, that's what you're called, the coachee, please make sure that you communicate that with your coach. And if you're looking for a coach currently, my team and I would be so honored to help support you. Up in the corner here, you can see that there's a QR code. That QR code is what we call the Power Up Assessment. It's going to score you on the soft skills that we teach here at Rise Up For You as a leader and as a business owner. It's totally free. So when you scan that QR code within 30 seconds, it's going to give you a profile on your self-confidence, your emotional intelligence, your leadership, and how you communicate. And then it'll invite you to a call, totally free with my team and I. So if this is something you're interested in, we would love to support you. But whether you choose us or somebody else, please make sure that those 6 steps around finding the right coach are something that you utilize in your process. Thanks again. Just hopping on impromptu. I'm heading out to a meeting. I hope you have an amazing day. Again, this is Lena Nasserdeen with Rise Up For You. Have you ever walked out of a meeting wishing you had said it better? Well, you're not alone. Nearly 70% of professionals admit they stumble over the words in high-stake moments. And when communication falls short, opportunities slip away. Your message, it can open doors when it is delivered with clarity and confidence. So whether you're leading a meeting or speaking from stage, influential communication, it's what sets you apart. It's what makes you be seen, be heard, and be relevant in a world that is inundated in every industry. At Rise Up For You, we help you move beyond simply delivering words. We help you influence thought, inspire action, and create real movement in people. We'd love to connect with you. We'd love to share more, and we'd love to help you be a true influencer in your communication. So if you're ready to amplify your influence, book a complimentary call below and let's share together how we can help you be the best you can be in communication and impact.